Here are today's top stories. The Justice Department orders a thorough investigation of the killing of Mayor Halili of Tanawan, Batangas and Mayor Bote of General Tino, Nueva Ecija. The AFP plans to call for the formal cancellation of peace talks with the Communist Party of the Philippines. The Bureau of Immigration affirms the expulsion of a Zimbabwean missionary for overstaying and joining leftist activities. And basketball authorities of the Philippines and Australia issue apologies for their brawl at the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara has ordered the NBI to conduct a thorough investigation on the killings of Mayor Antonio Halili of Tanawan and Mayor Ferdinand Bote of General Tino, Nueva Ecija. Here is our report.
Justice Chief Menardo Guevara said he has given instructions to the NBI to investigate two murders which came one day after the other. A team of NBI agents have already been sent to Tanawan, Batangas to meet with several City Hall officials to gather information to pinpoint Halili's killer and determine the motive behind the killing. The NBI agents, Guevara said, had interviewed officials and conducted an ocular inspection of the site where the alleged sniper was positioned during the killing. Malacanang earlier vowed to get to the bottom of the killings of mayors following the murder of Bote and Halili. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said that PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde has vowed to bring the perpetrators to justice. Roque said all murders of mayors will be the government's obligation and expressed sympathies to the bereaved family of Bote. The PNP is already looking into three possible motives behind the killing of Bote. PRO3 Regional Director Amador Corpus says among the angles being investigated involves local politics, the quarrying business, and government projects allegedly connected to the mayor's construction business. Corpus clarifies that there are no reports linking Bote to illegal drugs. Meanwhile, the PNP has installed additional checkpoints all over Nueva Ecija and deployed an additional 200 cops to maintain security in Cabanatuan City. Albayalde, meanwhile, has ordered the creation of a special investigation task group to speed up the arrest of the suspects. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
The PNP urges everyone not to make speculations on the killing of Mayor Antonio Halili. Authorities are awaiting a final report on the killing of Halili during Monday's flag-raising ceremony at the Tanawan City Hall in Batangas. PNP spokesman Senior Superintendent Benigno Durana Jr. was replying to netizens who pointed out that only a rifleman with adequate training could have been skilled enough to shoot Halili, who was roughly 200 meters away. Durana had said that while crime organizations have resources to acquire highly skilled henchmen, conclusions as to the motive behind the assassination as well as the identity of the gunman are mere speculations. Halili, who has figured in a controversy over his decision to publicly shame criminals and drug addicts in 2016, is in the government's list of personalities allegedly involved in illegal drugs. Meanwhile, presidential spokesperson Harry Roque criticized Senator Kiko Pangilinan for calling Halili's murder as an extrajudicial killing. Roque says the senator should wait until the investigation is completed instead of making baseless accusations. The Armed Forces of the Philippines plans to formally recommend the cancellation of peace talks with the Communist Party of the Philippines to President Rodrigo Duterte. AFP spokesman Edgar Arevalo cited Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana's statement where he said the military is not in favor of continuing the peace talks. Among the reasons are the rebels using the peace talks to regroup, refurbish, recruit, and recover their forces. He says Joma Sison's group is not sincere in talking peace since they are plotting to overthrow President Duterte while holding negotiations. Arevalo adds that even the indigenous peoples of Mindanao, who have signed a manifesto calling out to the CPP-NPA for their atrocities, are against the continued peace talks. AFP spokesperson, however, clarifies that the military will continue pursuing peace talks led by local government units. Lorenzana earlier said that CPP founder Jose Maria Sison has lost influence on his own followers, making negotiations with him useless. The Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Manila has clarified that there is no animosity towards Filipinos amid a recent report naming the Philippines as the second most hated country among Taiwanese. TECO Minister James Chu says not all Taiwanese dislike the Philippines. Together with Jerry Chuang, director at the TECO, Chu underscored the poll only represents a very small segment of the entire Taiwanese population. He says they value and appreciate the efforts of some 150,000 Filipinos working in Taiwan for its economic development. Chuang, meanwhile, appeals to Filipinos not to exaggerate everything in the report and added that the real indicators are stories of Filipinos who have come across fellow Taiwanese and have been treated with respect. A news site reported that the Philippines ranked second in an opinion poll as one of the most hated countries among Taiwanese. The Manila Economic and Cultural Office in Taiwan described the results as truly lamentable, but said it will strive to further promote cooperation between the Philippines and Taiwan. Over 800 victims of a fire in Sampaloc, Manila have received aid from President Rodrigo Duterte. Special Assistant to the President, Christopher Bongo, delivered on Duterte's behalf the necessary assistance such as cash and grocery packs. He assured the victims that the national government will provide additional assistance for their recovery and rehabilitation. Go also appealed to barangay officials headed by Chairperson Cynthia Esquaso to continue helping the fire victims until they are able to go back to the place where they used to live. The residents lost their homes in a fire that broke out along Legarda corner Delgado streets on Sunday night. The fire razed around 80 houses and establishments along a portion of the annex building of the University of Manila. Still to come, the Bureau of Immigration affirms the expulsion of a Zimbabwean missionary for overstaying and joining leftist activities. The Palawan local government urges the youth to pursue careers in agriculture and fisheries to ensure food security. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Dito kasama natin ang ating mabuting kakalihim na si Secretary Marina Andagar at ang aming team para ipahiwatig sa inyo ang mga programa na aming gustong share o i-share sa inyo dito sa Bohol.
This is Secretary Martin Andagar, and you're watching.
Misinformation is information that is false, but the person who shares or speaks it does not know that this is false. So di natin alam, aware tayo, may na-share na pala tayo kasi ang ganda ng picture eh. Diba? Pero na-share natin, na-inform natin yung iba, pati sila nadamay. This information is that information, it is a false with the intent to mislead a person. So ikaw mismo, ikaw ang gumagawa ng disinformation na yun sa taon yun.
Explain naman ni Pebbles Ganea. I just want to reiterate how important it is for all of us in nation building. When we go against disinformation, when we go against fake news, we are doing service to ourselves, to our society, to the next generation of Filipinos.
Fake news has been a problem not only in the Philippines but in many countries around the world. At the same time, hindi lang siya nagsimula itong panahon na ito. But at this very moment, it is very clear and it is very apparent that it is really affecting lives of people.
Tagbilaran would like to personally thank Secretary Martin Adanar for being here and visiting the city of Tagbilaran. This is a big boost for us, especially that you'll be bringing the good news And despite your busy schedule, you still found time to be here with us. Tagaan na to sa masipang pakpak.
The Bureau of Immigration, or BI, has confirmed the expulsion of a Zimbabwean national who violated immigration laws for overstaying and engaging in political activities. Tawanda Chandiwana, a United Methodist missionary, is currently detained at the BI Warden facility in Bicutan, Taguig, and was also ordered to leave the country. Immigration spokesperson Dana Sandoval noted that Chandiwana was caught without a valid visa as his missionary visa had expired last April 6. He was also the subject of a government intelligence report for his alleged involvement in leftist organized activities. The Zimbabwean national was apprehended last May 9 in Toril, Davao. His name has already been included in the immigration blacklist. Two other members of the United Methodist Church, identified as American Adam Thomas Shaw and Malawian Miracle Osman, were also included in the blacklist for engaging in missionary works without a visa, overstaying, and for involvement in leftist activities. A government think tank calls for faster and more convenient processing of certifications for food safety to ensure the safety of more clients in the food industry. More on this from Miguel Hill.
The Philippine Institute for Development Studies is pushing for the creation of a one-stop processing venue for the various certifications required by food safety regulatory agencies, or FSRAs, in a bid to streamline regulatory procedures in the food sector. In a study by former PIDS President Gilberto Llanto and consultant Nerlita Manalili, food manufacturers claim they're incurring high transaction costs in securing such certificates. They were also asking for more sector-specific information on the regulatory requirements imposed by FSRAs to guide their compliance effort, while standards and protocols should satisfy current internationally recognized ones. To address regulatory issues in the food manufacturing sector, the study also underscored the importance of improving the operation of the Food and Drug Administration and the regulation coordinating body. Llanto and Manalili further said the FDA also needs to be provided with adequate human resources and modern facilities. It likewise needs to improve the capacity of the Food Safety Regulation Coordinating Board, which is responsible for establishing and coordinating policies on food safety regulations. In the food sector, the study said all the FSRAs should convene and formulate the best approaches to improve the current food regulatory system. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Miguel Hill.
In Palawan, local government units are being urged to inspire and entice more young people to pursue careers in agriculture and fisheries. Board member Clarito Prince de Maala IV says the majority of the youth are into careers dealing with modern technology, which threatens food security because very few choose to pursue farming. De Maala stresses that Palawan is rich in farmlands and aquatic resources. He says encouraging the youth to pursue careers in agriculture and fisheries does not mean he does not recognize the importance of other academic paths, but he wants to promote farming and fishing as a source of livelihood. De Maala said that a survey conducted recently said the average age of the Filipino farmer is 50 to 52, meaning Filipino youth have become less interested in agriculture and fisheries. The board member said if the worry is about less income, there are already many opportunities and related careers being offered to ensure higher profits. The government also continues in making sure that technologies are upgraded and that agricultural and fishing programs and projects are being offered. Around 5,000 Bicolanos are expected to gather at the regional consultation on the proposals and design of the federal system of government on July 5 to 7 at the Albay Astrodome in Legazpi City. DILG Regional Director Eloisa Pastor says the activity aims to gather feedback from various sectors on the proposed draft constitution, which will be presented by the Consultative Committee to review the 1987 Constitution. The CONCOM has formulated a draft of the proposed constitution to present in a series of regional consultations throughout the country. Pastor says the three-day roadshow will start with a presentation to the media, followed by a briefing and a town hall meeting with local officials and sectors, and cap with a pledge or statement of support by officials and stakeholders. After the regional consultations in Legazpi City, the next stop will be in Tacloban City on July 11 to 13, Butuan on July 20 to 22, and in Cebu City on July 26 to 28. 3 members of the Abu Sayyaf group have surrendered in separate occasions to government officials. The West Mindanao Command says Omaidi Salain alias Abu Maidi surrendered to the troops of the 74th Infantry Battalion on Saturday in Barangay Sinulatan, Tuburan, Basilan. Salain was part of a list of personalities identified as terrorists. He reportedly decided to surrender because of the realization that this is not the life that he had wanted. Meanwhile, Hamad Habin and his younger brother, Jem, surrendered to police and military officials on Sunday in Barangay Bagindan, Tipo-Tipo. The 2 brothers were followers of ASG leader Furuji Indama. They decided to surrender after learning that their comrades who surrendered earlier are enjoying a peaceful life. West Mincom Chief Lieutenant General Arner de la Vega says he hopes that more Abu Sayyaf members will surrender and choose to live a peaceful life. The surrenderers are assured to receive livelihood assistance. Up next, basketball authorities of the Philippines and Australia issue apologies for their behavior at the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Journalists lead efforts to restore mangrove forests in the province of Albay. These and more when the PNA Newsroom returns.
Isa lamang ang dahilan sa paglaganap ng leptospirosis. Huwag lumusong o magtampisaw sa baha, lalo na kung may sugat. Gumamit ng bota kung hindi maiiwasan. Kapag may lagnat ng 2 araw matapos lumusong sa baha, agad kumonsulta sa pinakamalapit na pagamutan.
Both Basketball Australia and the Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas or SBP issued apologies for the brawl that took place during the FIBA World Cup qualifiers match at the Philippine Arena in Bocaue on Monday night. The Boomers' chief executive Anthony Moore was the first to issue a statement late Monday night, saying they regret the incident and that they were disappointed with their role in it. He acknowledged that what happened was not the spirit in which Australia aims to play basketball. On Tuesday, SBP President Al Panlilio expressed regret for breaching the bounds of traditional Filipino hospitality and extended his apologies to the Filipino people. He then reiterated SBP's conviction that violence has no place in sports. Both parties later said that they will wait for the sanctions that FIBA will impose on them following an ongoing investigation of the incident. Meanwhile, former Philippine Basketball Association Chairman Mikey Romero believes that the brawl between Gilas and Australia was uncalled for, even if the Filipinos got bullied by the foreigners. He says SBP officials must have a heart-to-heart talk with the Gilas team. At least 15,000 runners are expected to join the 42nd National Milo Marathon to be held in Urdaneta City, Pangasinan on July 15. Milo sports organizer Tess Bernardino says this is the second time Urdaneta City will be hosting the National Marathon. Participants will be coming from Ilocos Region, Cordillera, Regions 2 and 3, and the National Capital Region. The marathon categories are 3 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, and 21 kilometers. She says the activity aims to shape the community to good and healthy lifestyle. Bernardino says that the Department of Education targets at least 7,000 students to participate. Pairs of rubber shoes will again be donated to 500 students who would join the marathon. Meanwhile, the cheer dance competition will be held simultaneous with the marathon at the Urdaneta City Cultural and Sports Center. And in health news, the Department of Health reports that more than 900 new cases of HIV infection in April this year. The Epidemiology Bureau says the figure is higher than the 628 HIV cases reported in April 2017. Of the total cases for April 2018, 19% had advanced HIV infection or AIDS. The DOH also recorded a total of 66 deaths due to HIV/AIDS. Sexual contact remains to be the major mode of transmission, particularly among males who have sex with males. Other known modes of transmission was needle sharing among injecting drug users and one case of mother-to-child transmission. The data also showed that 1/3 or 30% of those diagnosed were from Metro Manila. Since the 1984 up to the present, the DOH recorded around 54,000 HIV cases. Around 5,700 of these progressed into AIDS cases, while over 2,500 resulted to deaths. The DOH has been providing antiretroviral treatment among the patients as well as free testing. Members of the media in Albay led by the restoration efforts for mangroves in a coastal area in Legazpi City. The activity supports the government's campaign to protect the environment. Here is our report.
The National Union of Journalists in the Philippines Albay chapter intensified its mangrove reforestation project by planting at least 1,000 propagules on a 3-hectare area at the coast of Barangay Puro, Legazpi City in Albay on Sunday. This is part of the year-round greening program in celebration of World Environment Month and of the National Disaster Consciousness Month. Rides Barsha, NUJP Albay chapter president, said that the project is in support of the government's campaign to address and mitigate the impact of sea level rise triggered by global warming. She said the NUJP aims to plant at least 50,000 mangrove propagules in all coastal barangays of Albay. Mangrove forests serve as a shield against storm surges, big waves, tsunami, and other calamities occurring in intense number. Its ecosystem is effective in protecting towns from coastal natural disasters triggered by the extreme climate due to global warming. Mangroves also serve as spawning grounds for fish and other marine resources. Office of Civil Defense Bicol Regional Director Claudio Yucot expressed support for the NUJP's mangrove reforestation project, pointing out that caring for the environment must be everybody's concern. The activity on Sunday was participated in by the Tri-Media of Albay, the local government of Legazpi City, the Philippine National Police, the Tactical Operations Group 5, and OCD. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Benj Bondo.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Here's another look at today's top stories. The Justice Department orders a thorough investigation of the killings of Mayor Halili of Tanawan, Batangas and Mayor Bote of General Pino, Nueva Ecija. The AFP plans to call for the formal cancellation of peace talks with the Communist Party of the Philippines. The Bureau of Immigration affirms the expulsion of a Zimbabwean missionary for overstaying and joining leftist activities. And basketball authorities of the Philippines and Australia issue apologies for their brawl at the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And as the week shifts into high gear, never lose sight of the important things in life. Health, family, and good relations with others are more important than just the daily grind. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I'm William Theo. Good day.